I find it hilarious. These conservatives are all like hating on marijuana. Trump wants to reclassify it so it's less, less of a. I don't know. I'm not good at explaining this, but it's not deemed as dangerous as other drugs. And then these conservatives are all up in arms about it, talking about, oh, it does this and that and it does this and that. And it's like, yeah, you're correct. It's not 100% safe. But what is? What about the chemicals? And here's the thing, the whataboutism. I can't say anything. I can't say, well, look at this was happening. Look at the hypocrisy. You're fine with this. You're fine with alcohol. Here's my number one argument. And this demolishes every single argument from any type of conservative. Why marijuana should stay illegal. Look at alcohol. Alcohol is way worse. It's legal. Look at cigarettes. I think it's worse. That's legal. So they're fine with these, but they're not fine with marijuana. The only thing that I can see that how marijuana affects other people is the smell. Now, there should be laws where you can't just walk down the street smoking a joint. I'm pretty sure I can't just walk down the street drinking a beer. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe some places are fine with it. I don't know. But I think that's called public intoxication. I know there's places like beaches, family places that they don't allow alcohol there or whatever. But yeah, there should be designated areas like there is for cigarettes, for marijuana, like where people just go and they smoke weed. I'm surprised there's not more marijuana bars. Well, you'll probably see at some point there'll be more marijuana bars than alcohol bars because here's the thing. If I was to smoke a joint after about 3 hours or less, I'm sober. You can't compare a joint to a cigarette to a one drink. So if I have a few beers or whatever, a couple of shots, and it gives me a little bit of a buzz, not saying drunk, how much longer does it take till I'm sober than it does marijuana? People typically don't go to the bar to have one beer and that's it. So like the whole thing with like DUIs, which I understand, I get it. People shouldn't be driving and operating vehicles while they're intoxicated. But the whole idea to go to this place to drink, it's just so weird to me. Then you have to get an Uber, you have to do all this crap, and it is whatever. Anyway, so like all these conservatives are hating on marijuana, and this is what I think. I think the best scenario is just federally decriminalize it. Federally decriminalize it. That's all you have to do. That way you leave it up to the states if they want to keep it banned. So if Idaho wants to keep it banned, well, guess what? If I'm looking to move to a different place and I want to smoke weed, whatever kind it is, if it's recreational like where I'm at, or for medical reasons, I'm probably not going to move there because I want to continue what I'm doing. The whole notion of marijuana being bad, yes, it is, but it's less than. I've quit cigarettes, and it was way harder to quit cigarettes than it was weed. I've quit weed a bunch of times. Like, I just quit weed not that long ago, like April, was it? March, I smoked all the way through March. And then April 1st, I quit because I wanted to make sure that I was sober to be able to find a job. So, and a lot of these companies, since it's not federally decriminalized, a lot of these companies still drug test us. Like for me, I don't want to go to work high, okay? You know, alcohol is legal. So if I go to work or if I'm drinking at work, maybe they won't find out, but maybe eventually they will. I remember seeing some story years ago. These factory workers, these Ford workers, I don't know if they're Ford, but they were auto manufacturer workers in Michigan. You know, they would go get drunk and they got their jobs because of the union, but, you know, at some point, probably gonna get found out that you're high on the job. Then you get let go. You know, there's nothing wrong with me doing the job I'm doing, then coming home and smoking a joint and relaxing. I mean, maybe that's something for me to actually look forward to. In this day and age, when everyone's all separated, we're not. People can't start families. People are all isolating from everybody else. There's not much to look forward to. If somebody is that, maybe that's gives people some joy in their life. They like a joint. Is that like? Do you look down on that? Okay, look down on that. Whatever. You can look down on those people if all you want. You can say the same about somebody like gambling, like they're looking forward to placing a bet, or they placed a bet and they're looking forward to see if the outcome on their game. You can look for, they're same thing with like maybe like a chocolate cake. I kind of used to look forward to my morning coffees, and that's a caffeine addiction. So like we have all these different addictions, and to sit here and just like put marijuana like it's on the same level as something like heroin, when it's quite obvious that marijuana isn't even as bad as some of the stuff that's already legal right now. And in fact, how about prescription drugs? You wonder why there's so many people out on heroin now? Is because of they couldn't afford their painkillers anymore, so they went to something cheaper. They went to heroin because it was cheaper. Their body adapted to the pain pills. They had to keep taking more and more, and they couldn't afford that habit no more, so they went to heroin. So like that's a legal thing as long as you get a prescription from the doctor. You can't get a prescription from the doctor for heroin or like cocaine or anything like that. So like you can't put marijuana on the same level as that. Now, if you want to put marijuana on the same level as something like a painkiller, whatever. Like you need to get a prescription, whatever. It should be state to state basis. Now, I think as long as you have marijuana, you have cigarettes legal, you got caffeine, sugar, and they put sugar in everything. No one should have any argument to keep marijuana illegal, especially when we will empty out the prisons for people going to, well, maybe we won't be able to empty the prisons, but like we will have less people going into prison, in the prison systems, if we just at least decriminalize it. Because I think that's a big drain on us financially. So yeah, like I'm just seeing that this, and that's something that when I was really pushing for the right, because I thought that I was gonna see some change. Yes, I'm stupid. I actually, people go, oh, you're fucking stupid. Like, yes, I was hoping. I tried to have a little bit of hope. So this was the hope was the Republicans were gonna go in there and they're gonna make things better. They're gonna make things better for everybody else. I like that. I bought into it because I'm stupid. Like, I've heard the whole thing, like the both sides of the uniparty. I know. But I tried to have a little bit of hope. I'm sorry for trying to have a little bit of hope that things can change for the positive for the regular person. And I thought that because they were saying a lot of things that they changed their stance. They seem more pragmatic. But yeah, these ultra conservatives that are like pushing all this stuff about marijuana. Like, dude, I could say the same thing about alcohol, if not worse. That just totally destroys your argument. If you're gonna push for marijuana staying illegal, then you need to push for alcohol being illegal and cigarettes. But they're not. Why? Because they probably drink themselves, and who knows who's funding them? Who knows what alcohol companies are funding these people individually? So they're pushing this narrative. They're pushing their influence out here to try to keep marijuana illegal, so people will, instead of, dang man, I can't smoke weed. Well, fine, then I guess I'll just have a drink. People need an outlet, man. I don't know what to say, especially in this day and age, to sit here and in this day and age, when a lot of people don't have much of a community, or a lot of people feel like every single cent that they make goes to paying their bills, even if they're trying to be responsible and doing the right things. Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, but if they're mostly doing the right things with their money economically, not going on trips, but they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses or anything, but they're just paying their bills, and they don't have no community at the same time. Yeah, they need some type of outlet. The same thing you can say about the porn thing. Like, if you ban porn, I'm telling you right now, if you ban porn, which you can debate it's bad for society, like porn has been bad for society. Well, if you was to just straight out ban it now, not only because it's such a huge business, not only would you destroy OnlyFans creators, which they help with the economy, which I'm not for. I'm not pushing any of that. But these guys who aren't getting any type of any type of attention from women. Listen, man, these red pill guys, they say, oh, you should do this for yourself. Like, this, the women getting attention from women is just a side thing. Like, we do what we do because we want to have availability from women. Okay? Now, simping for one woman is one thing. She's not your wife or something like that or whatever. You shouldn't whatever. You shouldn't simp for any woman. But if you're going to do it, it's better to do it for your girlfriend and your wife other than some stranger on the internet. It's not good to do it for your wife or your girlfriend totally, because they'll end up not respecting you. But it's okay to give them compliments. It's okay to do nice things for them. And you should give them their validation, or that they can say see you too. But at this point, we've allowed all this to happen, which the government should have intervened right away. The government should have intervened with AI, making them having a watermark on things a long time ago. But our government is inept. They're inefficient. It doesn't work. And I'm pretty much at the point where we just need to abolish it. Just like the Constitution says, when it's not really serving any purpose anymore. It's just all the government's really doing at this point is just helping the wealthy and suppressing and keeping us enslaved. That's all it's really doing. It's not really pushing anything but rich people. So it definitely needs to be reformed or abolished. Because it's not doing anything anymore except for serving the elites, the same people that they rebelled against. Is this kind of funny how it was set up to avoid what's happening right now, but it's exactly what's happening right now is why our family fathers went into Revolutionary War back in the day, because of oppression. And yes, we are being oppressed by the elites. Whether these people on the right are we don't have free markets, man. We don't have free markets. these people that are wealthy, you can see the discrepancy. I seen this dude made a chart. He's like, up until like the 70s or like the 80s, we were all on the same path. We were like, the economy was doing good, GDP was bringing, everyone was having like good distribution of wealth, and as soon as the 80s happened, boom, the 1% started to skyrocket, and they went down a little bit, and then now they've gone back up. And all of us have pretty much stayed at the same spot. So, it's not like we're getting wealth too, just like them. I'm fine with people doing good. I'm fine with people making profits, but like, I should be doing good too. Like, I'm happy for your company that your company's doing good, and I want your company to do good because I want to have a job tomorrow. But like, you need to take care of me too, but that's not what's happening right now. And in fact, stuff like Uber Eats and stuff like that, they're using people's own vehicles to to make money off of people. It's such a brilliant thing. Like, they don't even have to use the infrastructure. They're using somebody else's infrastructure. Maybe it's like this right here. The thing is, the difference is between, like, I'm not getting paid for this. But and nobody watches my shit, so like, nothing against the people, the few that do watch my stuff, but yeah, I appreciate you guys watching my stuff. But when I look at, like, I compare myself to other people, like, they get way more views than I do. At the subscribers, shows that I'm oppressed, and I'm still oppressed. I'm oppressed on every level. I want to put that out there in case in the future, if any of this lasts, if anybody sees this in the future, they know that, like, I've been completely oppressed on all social media platforms. There's been something that I've been oppressed with, or maybe people just don't like me. Maybe I suck. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I just suck. But the whole, like, the whole marijuana thing is just, these people. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of who's paying them off to say these things. Maybe they really believe this, and they, they think that marijuana is bad for society, and it's just like, dude, do you not see what's happening? Do you not see that most of our jobs are about to be gone in the next 20 years? What are we supposed to do for the next 20 years? Like, what are we going to do? Who gives a shit if people are smoking weed? Who gives a shit if that's what they want to do with themselves? If that's what makes them happy, cool. If somebody likes to work out, that makes them happy, cool. Like, it doesn't make it. It's not like alcohol is illegal and cigarettes are illegal. It's not like these things are illegal and they're trying to make marijuana legal. No, these things that are worse than marijuana are already legal. Like, this whole thing too about, like, the whataboutism. When you don't have anything to say, when I'm bringing out facts and you say that I'm all about whataboutism, that's all you have. You're not disputing anything I say. Your only argument to rebuttal of my argument is, oh, what, you just have the whataboutism. Yeah, because I'm pointing out hypocrisies. I'm pointing out how you're a hypocrite for being against this, but you support this. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with whataboutism. What the hell is wrong with who said that whataboutism is like a bad thing? Who said that pointing out some things being okay and other things not is a bad thing? Like, I don't know who in society said that you can't point out hypocrisies. So I'm just supposed to sit here like, this whole thing, like with the Epstein case. Here's the thing I'm gonna end it on. I argued with Ed Cressy. I said something on his little thing, and I said the Democrats or whatever could have released the Epstein files, and they didn't. And you're harping on Trump. Oh, this is what you're talking about. Whataboutism. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? The Democrats who are all about who are all about releasing the Epstein files, had power, and they sat on it and didn't release it. All these same people who are in power are demanding it to be released, and they could have done it, but now, since it makes Trump look bad, which I'm not defending Trump at all. Like, fuck that guy at this point. Like, you know, maybe I changed my stance. Maybe he you know, whatever. He told me to fuck off, so I'm tell him to fuck off. Hopefully he does some things to make our country better, but like, I really don't give a fuck about that guy. If they've had the chance to release the Epstein files and they didn't, if you're gonna sit here and defend these people, and then like sit here and be like, well, the Republicans aren't releasing it, and like, oh, they're blocking this and that, and it's like, why didn't the Democrats? Oh, that's whataboutism. Why didn't the Democrats? Why can you not? You look like shit. So all you have to do is say, that's whataboutism. Is it not? Is it not? Is it not true? Is it not true? Can you not condemn them? Can you not sit here and say alcohol is bad too? Can you not say cigarettes are bad too? Where is your fight against these things? You know? And the pornography thing, like, hey, listen, man. What would happen if they just banned pornography right now? You'll see a bunch of violence. I don't know what to tell you. You'll see a lot of violence, and I'm not advocating for it. I know human nature, and these dudes who don't get any attention from women will end up being very violent. And I'm not one of them. I don't need it. I'm old. I don't need attention. But a lot of these young people who have pent up frustration, and that's how they get the release. Here's a newsflash. Us men releasing the poison, releasing it helps us not have tension. It helps us not be so riled up. So if the Republicans ban pornography, you will see a lot of these young guys acting out in aggression. You might see rape go up. You might see that happen. And, you know, we shouldn't have let society get here. Now, how do we fix this? It's probably better to, like, start dialing stuff back slowly. That's what I think. If you want to try to fix shit, you might want to start dialing shit back slowly, other than just, like, completely stopping something. It's kind of like, start limiting, and which I think that they're doing. I think that, like, the whole, you have to be certain age to get into these adult sites, I think that's a good thing. I mean, I don't think that kids should be able to access this. And there's always going to be workarounds. There always have been workarounds. There's been people that made fake IDs and bought alcohol when I was a kid. So, like, you know what I mean? So, like, you're always going to have people trying to. We have a black market for a reason, right? Like, a lot of these drugs are illegal, but people are still buying them. We still have a lot of drug addicts. So just because you make something illegal doesn't mean that it's going to, like, completely solve the problem. It's not going to make it so nobody's gonna, like, break the law. What it does is it tries to detour people who try to do the right thing to not break the law, and it puts the people. It's easier to find the people who do break the laws because they stand out. So yeah, I think that's about it. Another thing too, I said I was gonna end on that. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Um, I listened to something. It was in Japan on Christmas. They eat KFC. That's like a huge thing in Japan, which is so crazy to me to think. Like it's a tradition. And this was a marketing ploy in the 70s apparently. And it just shows you like the human psychosis of like mass adoptions of things, and you know how something that was marketed back in the 70s for just trying to sell some extra chicken can turn into something that's like a tradition. And people won't even like, why are we eating chicken on Christmas? Why are we eating turkey on Christmas? What, it's just it shows you like the manipulation that can happen with a large group of people, just like what we've seen in 2020, 2021. The masses can be fed a bunch of propaganda and eat it up. And a lot of people don't really, I think a lot of people just especially nowadays, I think a lot of people put their critical thinking on autopilot. I think that a lot of people have their lives on autopilot. I do it to some extent. I think that we all can do it to some extent. I always go back to this talking about when you drive to work. I mean, pretty much you drive the same route to work, right? I mean, everyone drives usually the same route to work, unless there's like some type of detour you need to take, or you see that it's busy or something, like, okay, I'm gonna go this way. But usually we go the same way to work and the same way home, right? I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that does that. And when you're driving to work, if anyone relates, you don't really have to be, you know the way there. It's like the back of your hand. You don't have to sit here and look for landmarks. You pretty much know where everything's. I mean, you know where big landmarks are, but like you don't. When you're going somewhere new, you have to like be conscious of like the street signs, and you got to be really conscious, and not to say like you're not conscious of what's going on around you with like vehicles and stuff like that, but you know the way to work. You don't have to really think about it. You know what I mean? But if you're going to work and it's a new job, like you have to think about it, like how to get there, and then maybe it's a couple of times, and then once you do it a couple of times, like, okay, I'm not really putting too much thought unless like there's something that happens close to me, or you know what I mean? Like you're kind of on autopilot. You're thinking about other things, and I think that a lot of people, the whole internal monologue, I don't know if that's something that is like people don't have souls or whatever, or rather it's just people have put most of their lives on autopilot. And I think we're seeing it more and more, where they just do the repetitive thing, easy, repetitive thing, and they don't change their patterns. And I think that's happening more and more nowadays. So younger people are going to dementia, instead of switching up routines to some extent. They just do the same thing, same job, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny that the Japanese people eat KFC, and it was just a marketing ploy just to get them to sell more chicken, and now it's basically a tradition. This shows how traditions are pretty much made, like Christmas and possibly Thanksgiving and like other holidays, like the Cupid one, the Valentine's Day, and just kind of funny. But yeah.